Celine Dion has one of those instantly recognizable voices, an icon whose hit songs have left a lasting mark on music history and pop culture. But beyond the powerful vocals and global fame lies a more private, often unseen side of her life. She's more than the diva with a legendary Las Vegas residency or the queen of 90s ballads. She's also a devoted mother to three boys, Celine and her late husband, Renee Angelil, had three sons together, Renee, Charles, and twins, Eddie and Nelson. Unlike their world-famous mother, the boys have been raised largely out of the public eye, while the world followed Celine's rise to superstardom. Her children were growing up quietly in the background, and she preferred it that way. The public may know little about Celine's sons, but their lives are full of love, intention, and quiet luxury. Her journey into motherhood wasn't easy. When Renee Charles was born in Arling, it wasn't just another celebrity birth. It was the result of years of IVF treatments and unwavering hope. Celine was Centurar, and Renee was 59 when their baby boy arrived in West Palm Beach, Florida, weighing 6 pounds, 8 ounces. For them, it was a dream come true. But the experience wasn't entirely private. In one of the most surreal moments of her life, Celine recalled during an episode of Carpool Karaoke how her son's birth was announced live on TV before she even got to hold him. "I'm delivering my first child," she said, still stunned. "And on TV, they're saying, a beautiful, healthy boy. I hadn't even held him yet." It was a harsh reminder of how fame can intrude on even the most sacred moments. That experience profoundly shaped Celine's approach to parenting. From that moment on, she made the decision to protect her children from the spotlight. She turned off the cameras and shut the world out. Still, fans and media remained curious. But to Celine, Renee Charles was more than her firstborn. He was her miracle when he was 5. She shared with People magazine how much she treasured the little things, bedtime stories, finger painting, even playing with Play-Doh. On stage, she was a superstar. But at home, she was just mom, fully present, no glitz, no glam. In 2003, Celine made a major career shift to prioritize her family. She began her Las Vegas residency at Caesar's Palace, trading constant touring for a more stable and grounded life. It was a move made with her children in mind to give them a sense of normalcy. Even in an extraordinary world, Celine once said, "I'm a full-time mom. Singing is what I do at night." When Renee Charles came to see one of her shows for the first time, it wasn't excitement she felt, it was nerves. "It's the only time I felt nauseous before a show," she admitted. "My son was watching me, not as mom, but as a performer." As Renee Charles grew older, he developed his own passion for music. But instead of leaning on his mother's fame, he kept it low-key. In 2018, he revealed in an interview that he'd been releasing music under the name Big Tip. He hadn't even told Celine until 2 of his songs reached number 1 and 2 on the Canadian R&B SoundCloud charts. "It was a weird conversation," he said. "I was like, 'Mom, I'm number 1 right now.' And she was like, 'Why didn't you tell me?' But in true Celine fashion, she was nothing but supportive. Since then, Renee Charles has embraced his musical journey fully. In 2021, he released an EP titled Casino 5, followed by singles like Never Stop, The Apple, and The Kid. One track, Catwalks, explores the grief of losing his father, showing how music serves not only as a passion but also as a source of healing. Celine couldn't be prouder. She shared on Instagram, "My love for him is so strong, and it touches me deeply that one of his passions is also one of mine." Their shared love of music came full circle in one of the most emotional moments of Celine's life. In 2016, just a month after Renee Angelil passed away from cancer, Celine was honored with the Icon Award at the Billboard Music Awards. The person who walked out to present the award, her son, they said, "Here's your son to present the award." "And it cut my heart to pieces," she said later. The moment was bittersweet, emotional, and unforgettable. That night, Celine dedicated her award to her late husband and thanked her children for giving her the strength to carry on. She then performed "The Show Must Go On," a song her husband loved deeply. It wasn't just a performance. It was a raw expression of love, loss, and resilience, wrapped in music and family. As always, Celine didn't just sing, she told a story. A story of how, even in heartbreak, love shows up, holds your hand, keeps you moving forward. After losing her husband, Celine faced a new reality balancing motherhood, grief, and the spotlight all at once. But amidst her pain, she was intentional about one thing. She didn't want René Charles to feel pressured to fill his father's shoes. A year after René Angelillo's passing, Celine spoke with Extra about how her sons were coping. Her words were as raw as they were reassuring. They're remarkable. They're helping me and I'm helping them. It's mutual. That mutual support became the foundation of their healing. Rather than placing burdens on her boys especially, René Charles Celine let them know they didn't have to carry the weight of the world. In a quiet, honest moment, she looked her eldest son in the eye and said, "I never want you to feel like you have to be the man of the house. You have your own dreams and your dad, he's always with you." With those words, she gave him permission to be a kid again, to dream, grow, and find his own path without guilt or expectation weighing him down. Motherhood wasn't just a role for Celine, it was her lifeline. "What makes me most proud is to be a mother," she said. "I have 3 magnificent kids, and through them, I see my husband." That kind of love, the kind that endures even when someone is gone, was what kept her going. It wasn't always glamorous, but it was real, and for Celine, that was what truly mattered. While René Charles quietly pursued a music career, he was also deeply passionate about another Canadian favorite, hockey. Early morning practices on cold ice rinks were part of his routine, and guess who was right there beside him, cheering the loudest? None other than Celine herself, who fully embraced the role of ultimate hockey mom. Fans still talk about a 2017 video of Celine dancing and singing in the stands at one of his games in Terrebonne, Quebec, wearing a jersey with Angelillo on the back. She was vibing to the music like no one was watching, though. Of course, everyone was watching and loving it. But this wasn't just a fleeting phase. René Charles played on real teams, including the U16 Vegas Golden Knights, while they were living in Las Vegas during Celine Caesar's Palace residency. So while she was performing for thousands at night, during the day, she was showing up at the rink, clapping in the chilly bleachers, simply being mom. No spotlight, no ballads, just love. When René Charles turned Archie, Celine went full sentimental. She shared a throwback photo on Instagram of herself and René holding baby René Charles in the hospital, accompanied by a heartfelt message about his kindness, courage, and the depth of his sensitivity. Was simple, beautiful, and deeply genuine. Through all the grief, change, and growing pains, Celine found strength in showing up for her boys, not with grand gestures or speeches, but with presence. And in doing so, she reminded us all, sometimes the strongest love is the quiet kind. The love that cheers from the sidelines, tells you you don't have to carry everything, and lets you be exactly who you are. After her husband's passing, Celine made it clear that although René Charles was the eldest, he wasn't expected to carry the family's burdens alone. In an interview with Extra 1 year after René Angelillo's death, she shared how her sons were coping. "To be honest, they're remarkable. They're helping me, and I am helping them. It's mutual." She praised their resilience, especially in how they faced their father's illness and passing, just enduring the difficult days, but carrying themselves with grace through it all. Celine was genuinely in awe of how well they handled it. In one heartfelt conversation with René Charles, she made sure he knew she didn't want him to feel pressured to be the man of the house. She told him, "You have your own dreams, and he's always with you in your heart. I am here for you." This nurturing, open dialogue reflected her deep commitment to allowing her children to grow at their own pace, free from adult burdens. Too soon, even amid immense loss, Celine wanted her kids to feel safe to simply be children, to dream, to grieve, and to heal in their own time. In the face of it all, Celine found immense pride and strength in motherhood. "What makes me most proud is to be a mother," she once said. "I have 3 magnificent kids, and through them, I see my husband. I have the strength today to keep dressing up." That simple statement spoke volumes, not just about the resilience of her sons, but about the enduring love that still held their family together. They weren't just moving on, they were moving forward, holding tight to the love they shared with Renee. And while Renee Charles was busy carving out his own identity in music, there was more to him than beats and lyrics. His teenage years were also filled with sports, especially ice hockey. And true to form, Celine never did anything halfway when it came to her kids. She became the ultimate hockey mom Celine supported. Renee Charles, with the kind of enthusiasm only a mom can give. Throughout his high school years, as he fully immersed himself in hockey, she was right. They're cheering, clapping, and probably holding her breath during the close plays. One especially sweet moment came in August 2017, captured on video at one of Renee Charles's private games in Terrebonne, Quebec. Celine wasn't quietly sitting in the stands, she was up and dancing, singing along, completely caught up in the joy of the moment. Her energy was infectious, and her outfit spoke volumes. She proudly wore a hockey jersey with Angeliel on the back. It wasn't just a fashion statement, it was love in action and pride on full display. Renee Charles wasn't playing hockey just for fun, he was seriously committed. Reports noted that he played for the U16 Vegas Golden Knights while the family lived in Las Vegas during Celine's residency at Caesar's Palace. So even as she balanced high-profile performances, she never missed a chance to show up for her son. Her pride didn't stop at the rink. On Renee Charles' SRCST birthday, Celine shared a heartfelt Instagram post dedicated to him, alongside a touching caption. She posted a poignant photo of herself and Renee Angeliel cradling their newborn son in the hospital. That single image said so much. In her message, she reflected on his growth over the years, celebrating his intelligence, generosity, courage, and deep sensitivity, qualities that never failed to move her. Every word in that post came from a place of deep love and reflection, from her quiet pride in watching her children grow, to her strength guiding them through grief, to cheering loudly from the bleachers. Celine Dion's journey as a mother has always been marked by grace, heart, and authenticity. After losing her husband Renee Angeliel, Celine made a conscious choice to shield her young sons from the harsh realities of medical terms and the heavy weight of loss. Instead of letting fear take over, she focused on creating safety and comfort for them. In a 2017 interview, Celine opened up about how she and her boys coped after Renee's passing. It wasn't easy, but they found their own ways to stay close and connected. She even rearranged her home life to feel more emotionally secure, buying a big bed, not just for herself but so she could sleep next to her twins, Eddie and Nelson. That closeness wasn't just comforting, it was essential. The boys, in turn, were incredibly supportive. Together, they built new routines that brought comfort. One of the most touching was their nightly tradition of watching Disney movies together, not just for entertainment, but as a way to bring lightness and familiarity to their days. These moments became more than screen time. They were their way of staying connected, leaning on each other, simply being together. Celine also shared a beautiful nighttime ritual they started, inspired by the movie Up, where balloons symbolize someone moving on or rising up. She gently helped her sons understand their father's passing through this tender, symbolic gesture. Every night, Celine, Eddie, and Nelson shared a quiet ritual before bed. They would each take a moment to say good night to Renee. This simple, heartfelt practice helped keep his memory alive, while providing them with a sense of peace and connection. These small rituals weren't just about grief, they were acts of love, healing, and holding on to the closeness they still felt with Renee, even though he was no longer physically present. A glimpse into Celine Dion's home life reveals something beautiful, the way she switches effortlessly between French and English with her little ones. This bilingual environment wasn't just for show, reflected the rich cultural heritage passed down from both parents, especially Renee Angeliel. In a heartwarming video, Celine chats casually with her four-month-old twins, blending both languages. Naturally, though they weren't yet speaking, it was clear they were growing up in a multicultural world where French and English were everyday languages. This deep connection to her French roots, combined with Renee's influence, ensured their boys grew up surrounded by both cultures. Their bilingual upbringing gave them a strong sense of identity early on, one that celebrated diversity in language from the very start. Then came a pivotal moment before Celine's Courage World Tour in 2019. For the first time, she decided not to bring her children on the road. Instead, the boys stayed in Las Vegas, and Celine traveled back and forth to see them. It was a difficult decision, but one made with love and trust. She explained that her sons, especially the twins, were mature beyond their years. At just 8 years old, she described them as having the independence of teenagers. This new arrangement gave them space to grow, adapt, and build their own routines. While Celine continued pursuing her passion, this choice highlighted the delicate balance. Celine constantly manages between being a global superstar and a devoted mother. Her thoughtful parenting nurtured her children's growth and independence, allowing them to discover who they are beyond her shadow. As we reflect on Celine Dion's journey as a mother, one can't help but wonder, will her children someday step into the spotlight themselves? Adding to their touching bedtime ritual, the family created another special way to stay close to René's memory. Together, they wrote personal messages filled with love, placed them inside balloons, and released them into the sky. This symbolic gesture felt like sending their words directly to him, a quiet way of saying, "We're still here, thinking of you, loving you." That simple act gave them a comforting sense of connection. Despite his physical absence, fast forward to October 2020, Celine celebrated a milestone as Eddie and Nelson turned 10. Like any proud mom, she shared her joy on Instagram, the post full of emotion and love, along with a heartfelt message. She shared a nostalgic throwback photo of the boys playfully posing in a pile of autumn leaves. Two carefree kids soaking in the magic of fall. What made it even more special was the recreated photo. Two side-by-side frames showing the boys, now 10 years old, striking the exact same pose amidst the leaves. It was a powerful reminder of how quickly time flies, how much they've grown, and how these simple traditions still hold meaning. In her message, Dion poured out her love, speaking about the overwhelming joy, laughter, and happiness Eddie and Nelson had brought into their lives over the past decade. Her affection extended beyond the twins to include their older brother, René Charles, highlighting how close-knit their family remains. Even in celebration, Dion wove in the memory of their father with warmth and tenderness, sharing that René was undoubtedly watching over them. This wasn't just a birthday post, it was a mother's embrace, honoring her son's growth and the invisible bond that still connects them to their dad. That closeness has been present since the very beginning. Even as newborns, Eddie and Nelson showed signs of becoming bilingual, reflecting both their upbringing and heritage. In a touching 2011 video from her appearance on The Oprah Winfrey Show, Dion gave the world a glimpse of her morning routine, effortlessly switching between French and English while interacting with her tiny twins. It was a snapshot of everyday life, filled with love, culture, and gentle nurturing, raised by parents proud of their French-Canadian roots. It's clear these boys grew up in a home full of love, language, and meaningful traditions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a deep dive like this. See you next time.